If you're interested in learning more about the Nikon 18 to 300mm zoom lens, then stay tuned. This video is for you. As I do with my other videos, I'm going to start off by level setting. Now to begin with, it is relatively cold outside, and by that I mean it's around 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we also have quite a bit of sun, which is a good thing, but we also have quite a bit of wind, which is why I'm kicking this video off inside. Now many of you have asked the question, what is a good all-around extreme zoom lens to get? Now you may have a camera body from Nikon, Canon, Sony, Panasonic, etc. that may have come with a kit lens, like the 18 to 55 or the 16 to 50. Now many photographers don't put a lot of weight into the kit lenses, but I've had a lot of good success with them and I kind of like them. But I also understand where you may want to shoot past 55 and you may not want to carry multiple lenses with you and you're just looking for that one all-around good lens. Now thanks to the folks at Robert's Camera, I was able to get my hands on this lens right here, which is the 18 to 300. Now I have this lens attached to the Nikon D3400 body, but I want you to understand that this lens has an AF motor built into it, which means it'll work well with anything in the 3000 and 5000 series. So don't be afraid to attach it to the 5600 or the 3300, for example. Now for many years, I shot with the Nikon 18 to 200 lens, and in fact, I had that attached to the D7000 body when I shot the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, and I think I've got a video somewhere around, and if I find it, I'll post a link in the description below if you want to see that. Now anytime you get into extreme zoom lenses, there's usually a trade-off of some sort, and it's really due to the physics of the lens itself, but the trade-off usually involves a little bit of vignetting and some bowing that'll occur around that 18mm range. Now, I have not taken one shot with this lens right here, but I am going to step out just a little bit and we're going to do a demo. Now, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go just yet, but I might make my way to a park and we'll just take a lot of different shots and have some fun with it. When I'm done with that, I'm going to come back in, load these images up, and we're going to take a much closer look, and I want to see just how well this lens performed, and then I'll give you a few final thoughts. So with all that said, let's just jump right in and have some fun.
Leaving on a midnight train, take me far away from here. Full moon is shining, pale light, I'm driving you, take me far away from here. Right now, 'cause I won't wait till I find my way back home. Right now, baby, right now, baby, right now, baby, right now, baby. Catch you from the garden, better say a prayer. This ain't no place of mercy, safety. Finally, take me far away from me. 'Cause all all our lives we play this game, dance on through, burning flame. I'm burning, baby. I'm burning, baby. I'm burning, baby. Burn, baby. Well, my mind, shadows on the wall, hanging by real, crawling on my knees, seven legs,
As the sun went down, so did the temperatures. It was getting cold outside, and I decided to come inside where I could warm up and load these images onto my machine and take a closer look. Now, shooting with this lens right here was a lot of fun, and it was extremely convenient. It reminded me of shooting with my 18-200, which I have right here. Now, what I think is interesting is when I put these two lenses side by side, I noticed that they're very similar in size. Now, I find that interesting because this lens right here gives you an extra 100 millimeters of reach, which makes it even more convenient. But something to keep in mind is there is a trade-off. Now, as I mentioned before the demo, I fully expected to see a little bit of vignetting and warping to occur around the 18 millimeter range, and I definitely saw some of that. Now, I took an image, a couple images actually, that I didn't show in the demo, but I'm going to show you right now. I'll talk to you about it. So let's take a look. This image right here is just a picture of a brick wall. It's nothing special, but if you take a look at the top of the image and then look at the bottom, you'll see the warping that occurs here. And now take a look at the corners and you'll see the vignetting that occurs, keeping in mind that this particular image was shot at 18 millimeters. Now I was standing in the same location. I zoomed all the way into 300 millimeters and I took this shot. Now if you look at this shot, you'll notice that there really is no warping or vignetting that occurs here. Now this is relatively common when you deal with extreme zoom lenses like this right here. So if you go to take a full wide-angle shot, you're going to get some of that vignetting and some of that warping. Now keep in mind that if you post-process in Lightroom has pre-configuration settings that can deal with the abnormalities of many lenses that are out there, and they do have one for the 18-300. And it works very well in my opinion. I used it on some of those demo shots to remove some of the vignetting and the warping that occurs. Now, I didn't do anything in the post-processing to deal with that shot of the brick because I wanted you to see exactly what it looks like if you don't post-process. So if you don't plan on post-processing and you're using this lens right here, something to keep in mind is really in those landscape shots. So if you have a flat, horizontal landscape of some sort, say you're doing a lake or a seascape shot of some sort. Now, if you have that horizontal line towards the bottom or the top, you're going to get that warp and it's probably not going to look right. So you're going to want to put that somewhere in the middle. Now, if you're taking a shot that doesn't have a horizontal line in it and you're at 18 millimeters and you really don't plan to do much in the way of post-processing, chances are you're going to be okay. So it's just something to think about. Now, this lens right here has a few manual switches on the side. It's got the ability to do the autofocus and manual focus right here. And you can also take the VR, turn it on and off, and you can also lock the lens. Now, why would you want to lock the lens? Well, because with zoom lenses, they tend to creep or float. So if I have the lens like this right here and I don't have the lock on, the lens barrel may slide down. Now, I'm not noticing that at all with this lens right here, but it's probably just because it's new, and maybe over time that would loosen up and start to float, and if that happens, you can just lock it down. Now, how was the autofocus on this? Well, I felt that it was pretty decent. It did manage to lock focus. I didn't have too many issues with that. It was more of the speed that it takes to lock the focus. Now, when you're using something like the kit lens right here, this is the 18 to 55, this actually does a pretty good job at locking focus, and it's pretty speedy in my opinion. You can see when you put these two lenses side by side, this lens is about twice the size, but you have that convenience of that full range from 18 to 300. Now, many of you might want to know, would I purchase this lens? Well, I went ahead and purchased this lens a while back, and again, this is the 18 to 200, and it's something I used for many years. Now, it is very convenient, so it really depends on your style of photography and what you might want to shoot. I still really like that fixed 35 and the fixed 50 that I did a video review on, and I'll post that link below as well. But if you are looking for pure convenience, then this is a great lens to consider in my opinion. So yeah, I think overall I kind of like it. It does a decent job, and I hope this video helped you out. Now, if it did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. It's called Real World. More often than not, I post videos about photography and technology, but you never know. So until the next video, take care of yourself and be safe.